It can be a homeowner's worst fear, and tonight one local family is facing the difficult task of recovering and rebuilding after one started by an air conditioner destroyed their home and a lifetime of memories.
Yes, the night team's Jonathan Cotto spoke with the victims of the blaze who tell us they simply do not have anywhere else to go.
This was their home, this was their rooms, this was their stuff, you know, and today we had to throw away all the clothes and toys.
Larry Lampkin and his fiancée Monica Chavez say telling their two daughters they no longer have a home to come back to may be the hardest of the numerous challenges they're facing after a fire engulfed their east side home on Monday. The couple says it was a window air conditioning unit they installed that nearly destroyed everything they owned. They were both in the backyard when they noticed the smoke.
The firefighters got here, and by then it was too late, you know, and my family's home up in smoke, you know. I feel bad for, you know, because we all have memories here.
Passed down from one generation to the next, a home once filled with decades worth of photos, special keepsakes and memories, all now reduced to just ashes.
I was born in this home. My mom was born in this home. This home belongs to my grandfather. They built this home 63 years ago.
Lampkin says they're trying to figure it all out before their daughters come back from visiting family in Houston. Chavez, a full-time nursing student in Lampkin, in search of a new job. He says their home did not have insurance.
The last day of my job, my house burned, so I don't even have another job to lean on.
Lampkin and Chavez were scheduled to be married in November. The dresses their daughters would wear to that wedding ruined, along with everything else.
The world was looking bright for us, you know. And now so much uncertainty, you know. But taking it day by day is difficult.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Fiesta goers and vendors can breathe a sigh of relief tonight after two arrests were made in connection with the burglaries in the Market Square last week. 17-year-old Emmanuel Alonzo and 19-year-old Emmanuel Godinez now facing charges. People enjoying Fiesta this afternoon say this theft was a slap in the face to many organizations who benefit from Fiesta proceeds.
It's been super busy. Like last night, hectic. I walked out with 153 intent.
The busy atmosphere at Market Square during Fiesta.
It's crazy right now, yeah.
Sparked the interest of these three alleged suspects who San Antonio police say were caught on surveillance video burglarizing and damaging multiple vendor booths. Fiesta goers disappointed that someone would take advantage of a charitable fun event.
I knew about it because they contacted us and they were like, be careful with your store.
That's no good. That's bad business.
An arrest affidavit says the suspects hit one vendor hard, taking sports jerseys and hats. And police say they hit other vendors, stealing wallets, purses, hunting knives, kitchen utensils, and other items.
Well, when I hear that happened, all I hear is my father's voice in the background saying, if you steal, you get stolen from. And I ain't playing with you. And it's true, because I experienced that before in my life.
According to an affidavit, police got an anonymous call leading them to one suspect. He then admitted to the burglaries and gave investigators information that led to the arrest of these two men, 17-year-old Emmanuel Alonzo and 19-year-old Emmanuel Godinez.
Kids just need more direction and by their parents, and people work hard for their stuff.
Now that the men are in custody, people are happy, especially the vendors.
Don't ruin it for other people. The more that y'all mess up and the more that y'all screw things up for us, like the less fun we get to have and then we don't get to do this anymore.
I think they're going to grow from this. I think they're going to see what they did and look at it from the outside looking in, and then they'll see other people going through the same thing that they did, and they'll see that it was wrong.
Both Alonzo and Godinez have been booked on burglary charges. The third suspect has not been identified, and it's unclear what charges he could face.
Take a look now at other top stories we've been following today. Police are searching for a person they say shot an 11-year-old girl overnight. It happened around 11 p.m. last night in the Wood Lake Trails Mobile Home Park. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies tell us a white vehicle drove up to a home and fired several shots. One of those bullets hitting an 11-year-old girl who was sitting in her living room. She was taken to the hospital where she is expected to recover. Anyone with information about this shooting asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
A man was killed in a hit-and-run crash just after police say he was celebrating his birthday last night. It happened just after 9 on the city's west side in the 1300 block of Bandera Road near Willard Street. Officers say the victim was leaving the Dragon Sports Bar and was crossing the road when he was hit. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say he was not using the crosswalk. The driver did not stop to help, and police are still searching for them.
Making headlines around Texas tonight, a U.S. Air Force Academy cadet was one of 2 people killed in a small plane crash south of Fort Worth this week. Lieutenant General Richard Clark, the superintendent for the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, said on Twitter that 20-year-old Nick Duran, a junior, died in the crash on Thursday while he was home on leave in Texas. The Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office said Duran died of blunt force injuries. The Federal Aviation Administration said the wreckage of the single-engine plane with 2 people aboard was found Thursday after it had been declared missing. The other person on board also died. A cause for that crash has not yet been determined.
Today we learned a Houston man is among the 159 people still unaccounted for following the collapse of a 12-story condo tower near Miami. That's according to a report from our sister station at KPRC. Family members of Manny LaFont told KPRC today they haven't heard from him since the tower's collapse in Surfside, Florida on Thursday. LaFont grew up in Houston and went to Sharpston High School. He later went on to study at Texas A&M University and the University of Houston. According to family members, search and rescue efforts are still ongoing as we speak. We'll have a full report on those efforts coming up in just a few minutes.
Outside with live cams tonight. Hope your weekend got off to a great start today. It was, of course, a hot afternoon, a warm evening, but we had a pretty consistent breeze all day long. And I don't know about you, but that breeze always really helps out, especially this time of year when it's so hot and muggy out there. 78 our morning low, 4 degrees above average for this time of year and a high of 95, just 2 degrees above average for late June. Approaching late June here, but still a good bit away from today's record high, which was 106 set back in 2012. Tomorrow, highs in the 90s, but low 90s for some of us. And yes, you're seeing that correctly, a chance of some scattered downpours, mainly after lunchtime on Sunday. We're going to keep rain chances around through early next week. We'll talk about that and get you a look at your full forecast coming up very shortly. Tim?
We'll look forward to it. Thank you, Katie. San Antonio is showing its pride. The city flying a pride version of the city's flag over City Hall today for the first time to commemorate Pride Month. Today also marks 6 years since the Supreme Court ruled same-sex marriage would be legal in all 50 states. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg today thanked the city's LGBTQ advisory board for the flag recommendation, as well as local LGBTQ plus partner organizations like the Pride Center for the work that they've done to advance equity in our city. A statement from Robert Salcido Jr., the executive director at Pride Center San Antonio, reads in part, the flag is a representation of the LGBTQ plus community's resilience, the struggles we have faced, and a reminder that we must continue to fight for inclusivity and respect, especially for our Black and brown community members, end quote.
Morgan's Wonderland this summer is debuting an ultra-accessible sports complex. The new $4 million property sits just west of the main theme park and will offer different sports programs along with spaces for open play. Alicia Barrera visited the new sports complex and tells us what it means for all athletes of all abilities.
It's been 3 years in the making, and today, Morgan's Wonderland Sports is finally able to welcome athletes of all abilities to their courts and fields for volleyball, for basketball, for football, softball, and many other sports. And taking the mound to throw out the first pitch today, Morgan Hartman, a young woman who inspired the amusement and water parks and now the sports complex. She has a strong arm and a strong desire to be included.
And Morgan's not the exception, but I mean, everybody wants to be a part of something. And so that's what we ultimately are about, is bringing everyone together.
More than 30 court and field combinations make up the ultra-accessible complex that is already making a difference in the lives of athletes like Mario Wright.
I do the wheelchair football, wheelchair pickleball, wheelchair softball, wheelchair soccer.
He grew up playing sports, but life changed when he became wheelchair-bound in 2009. Years later, it's the love of sports and the ability of being out on the field with friends that keeps him going.
Oh, joy. I mean, I love it. I love everything about this sports center. Like, I think this will encourage more people in wheelchairs to come out and play sports because, you know, this is for everyone to come out and play.
Morgan's Wonderland designed the sports complex to be a place with no barriers or limitations, letting those with disabilities reach their fullest potential.
It's just an opportunity to come and have fun and put your potential to the max, and it's up to you to push yourself, but we're here to guide, we're here to coach, and we're here to just provide an opportunity in a space of safe and inclusive atmosphere.
Open play begins Tuesday, June 29th, and no membership is required.
Oh, yeah.
Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead on the night beat tragedy in New Mexico. A hot air balloon hits power lines and crashes to the ground, leaving no survivors. We'll bring you that story. Plus, when do you know it's a good time to start leaving your kids home alone? Some things to consider now that people are starting to head back to the office.
And the search for survivors continues after a partial building collapse near Miami. Heavy smoke and fires at the site are making the rescue efforts more difficult. We've got the latest from the scene next.
Sinking graves, buried headstones.
It shouldn't be like this.
Families don't just bring flowers, they bring lawnmowers. Sunday, a defender's investigation. The Archdiocese of San Antonio and their overgrown cemeteries on the night meet.
18-wheeler accidents can cause serious injuries. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Call today. Thomas J. Henry is available 24/7, nights and weekends.
Yum. Chili. Chili, chili. Chili do yum. Pour Mel Chili. Pour on.
It's Vic's Jam-Packed June at Vic Vaughn Toyota Bernie, and we need to move inventory. All month long, get jam-packed savings on full-size trucks, certified Toyotas, and luxury. Like Corollas, just $17,988. You heard me, only $17,988 plus 30 under 15 grand. That's right, 30 under 15K. These deals are jam-packed, but they won't last long. Online at ToyotaBernie.com. Hurry in to Vic Vaughn Toyota Bernie, just 12 minutes from 1604.
For 80 years, Generations Federal Credit Union has been...
That's great and all, but here's what you want to know. Generations Federal Credit Union has auto loans starting at 1.99% APR with no payments for 90 days and a refinance rebate up to $300. So you could pocket up to $1,800. Back to you.
Generations Federal Credit Union. Subject to credit approval. For details, visit mygenfcu.org.
Soak up fresh styles and get hot deals for your home this season during the Living Spaces 4th of July event. Save big and elevate your space from the outside in with designs for inviting dining rooms, comfy living rooms, and restful bedrooms. You can even transform your backyard into party paradise at a great price. Enjoy free next day shipping and special financing for 60 months on select purchases with your good credit. Shop the 4th of July event only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
This isn't your typical runaway bride scene. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Now that's something I can commit to. His RAV4 doesn't even have as many standard safety features as this Rogue.
Hurry in for a low $219 per month lease on the 2021 Rogue.
Love may be forever, but these offers are not.
Back in 1973, I made a commitment to the people of San Antonio. If they were hurt, if they were injured, I would fight for them. Nothing has changed. Gomez Law fights.
Now to the latest on the search for survivors in the devastating building collapse in Surfside, Florida. Officials announcing at least 5 have been pronounced dead and 156 are still missing.
Yeah, but search crews say they are not giving up hope as family members anxiously await some answers. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest tonight from the scene.
Desperate pleas from the family members of more than 150 people missing since Thursday, taking their frustrations directly to the governor of Florida.
Imagine if your children were in there. Red tape is not important when my daughter is dying.
Officials acknowledging the seemingly endless wait is painful.
You wake up in the morning hoping that more and more people were pulled out.
Still, crews pushing forward with optimism and determination as they battle heavy smoke and fires deep inside the debris.
So God bless our families and our first responders. We hold you in our hearts.
Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief Andy Alvarez on CNN.
There's always hope. I was in Haiti, and 8 days after we were there, we took a girl out of a collapse, and you gotta have hope. And we're doing everything that we can to bring your family member out alive.
In a 2018 report, an engineer warned of major structural damage to the concrete below the pool deck, also finding cracked columns in the underground parking garage. But engineers found another document with the city describing the overall concrete framing as being in good condition, and now concerns about its sister condo building nearby, built by the same people at the same time.
I can't tell people that it's a safe building. I just, given what we've seen happen here.
The town of Surfside says residents at that sister building are now under voluntary evacuation. FEMA will be helping them temporarily relocate as investigators look into that building over the next few weeks. Rena Roy, ABC News, Surfside, Florida.
Turning to weather now. Katie, I went out to Market Square earlier today for my story, and that breeze was life.
Yes.
It was great.
That can make all the difference in the world, honestly, when it's this warm and humid, that breeze.
Especially during Fiesta.
Yeah, it just keeps things moving around, gets you a nice little, you're at the fan.
Ooh, I see it with the moves
that we all want. Yeah, well, depends on the day. They could have used some fans big time up in the Pacific.